creating these like worrisome and negative thoughts in my head. It has been troubling. It's not about the critics. I was just very sad and like I felt very separated from the world.
What was the best thing this season for you?
This year was eventful, both in like disc golf and personal life. Just considering disc golf, I guess, coming back from the injury and then picking up some really important wins and having some setbacks, but being able to conquer them was tasting very sweet. But I also got married, which is a big step.
That's some real grown-up stuff.
That's a grown-up stuff, and I mean, me and Silver, we took that step, and it's very empowering in a way. So I think this year provided some really great memories and on and off the course.
Did Silver shed a tear when he saw you coming down the aisle?
Yeah, I could see something going on with his eyes
Yeah.
at that moment. Just like the best things are born inside of us, also the worst things happen inside of us. Creating these like worrisome and negative thoughts in my head, it has been troubling from time to time.
I read a text you wrote of the season and about criticism from some spectators. I think I just want to go back to that very soon. But first, this sort of meant to be mantra that you have accumulator. How did you achieve that?
I mean, I've always thought that there's something bigger than just us like coming here, having an education, finding a good job, making a family, and then dying. I think there's more to life. And I've always been fascinated to find out what it is. And I guess in my early, when I was just turning 30, I sort of started to explore that area a little bit deeper or more. And I think the past 3 years have been very intense in that sense. And the deeper I get, the more I understand that we create our own reality, and know that if I sort of control my state of being and my perception, everything will unfold the way it's meant to be.
So then let's take a very specific example. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you got some criticism for your circle 2 putting, right? And you wrote in the text that it really got to you. So how did you sort of make the switch to get to that, not meant to be, but like, I'm losing my own energy here?
You know, everything that comes up in our lives that sort of triggers us, it's like a gift, because it shows a part of ourselves that we might have not been aware of. And it's a place where we can improve. And I think that event or that situation taught a lot to me. And I also understood that it's not about the critics. This whole situation, it's about me and how I handle it. And it was just a way for me to experience all these feelings. That's how I explained it to myself, at least.
Did you ever get angry, like, I'm gonna punch a guy now in the face?
No, actually, I was just very sad and like I felt very separated from the world. I felt like no one can understand me. And when you feel alone, it's very hard to operate in the world, because you truly feel that nobody understands you, no matter what you do. And I know it's an illusion, because it's not possible that I'm completely separate and nobody understands me. But when you're in this emotion, it's very hard to get out of this situation only with your mind, like with your logical mind. I think it's very important to allow yourself to feel these things. And once you truly accept yourself with those feelings. I think they pass.
You said you changed your putting sort of mid-season because of this. Was there any other areas of your game that you focused on or maybe changed during this season?
I didn't really change anything other than the putting from circle 2. But yeah, I feel like I ran into some trouble with my approach shots. I just remember early in the season when my putting was in focus and it was like troubling me on the course. And then I started to like question everything I was doing on the course. And then again, I was like, oh my gosh, I should not be thinking these thoughts. And that was troubling. So I was like, it was just a mess.
You became historic this season too with passing the 1,000 rating. Can you tell me, when did you find out and how did that feel?
Everybody had been speculating for years. And I had not really put any energy or focus on the rating. But when this season came, I felt like I was lost in a way because I had no like huge goals. I just had the Grand Slam. I defended my world title and I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I was like, okay, maybe 1,000 rated would be like a very good thing to like achieve. And then it became more real and more real because I was averaging over 1,000 in my events. And I think everybody was predicting that it will happen in May. And I sort of stayed open to whatever comes. But then this magical number appeared. And I mean, it was, I don't know, I had kind of like dreamed about it or like visualized it and sort of like got the taste of 1,000. So in a way, I felt like I had already experienced it. I don't know how to explain it to you, but to be able to leave my mark in disc golf in a way like that, I think it's very huge for me and for women's sport. So I hopefully in the future, women will exceed that mark way more. There were people telling me that playing disc golf is so crazy, you shouldn't do that. Focus on something real.
Then you really showed those people quite wrong. How does it feel to like broken the barriers of disc golf?
I think it's a step in the right direction. In disc golf, we have sort of stayed in this small bubble. Everything is very, very disc golf related. And I think that could be hindering the growth of our sport. I think we can attract more sponsors, we can attract more people, more fans. And I think that's what like me and my manager have been trying to do. So yeah, I think it's just about the growth of the sport and making disc golf known even more than it is right now. And I just was like looking at one of my notebooks from the year before, and I had written down several times, I'm going to win all majors, I'm going to win all majors. And then I did it in 2023, and I didn't even remember that, but I just found it in my drawer, and I was like, okay, anything is possible as long as you like set your focus on it. And so it's just proof of our abilities and my abilities. As
the sport grows, it grows a lot. What would be your advice to someone not only starting out with disc golf, but maybe starting to get some traction?
I think my advice is different than some other like marketing people would say. I feel like the people in marketing, they have like very certain steps, what to do, how to behave. And I'm not saying these things are wrong. These could be working, but the way I have sort of gone through my career is, first of all, like understanding who I am. Try to be yourself, and I think you will be noticed by people. That doesn't mean you shouldn't like reach out to some companies or whatnot. But I think it's just very important to understand yourself, stay true to who you are, and you cannot go wrong with that.
So now it's off season. What's an off season for you? What does it look like?
Well, first of all, I was just staying away from disc golf for a couple of weeks, not really getting into throwing the disc, made a couple of rounds here and there. But from this week, I've started to really get into the training mode. I try to keep it very versatile. I'm going to play beach tennis. I'm doing ultimate frisbee, going to the gym. I went to the gym yesterday after a long time, and everything is aching. So I'm looking forward to like getting stronger again and being able to lift some heavy weights and being prepared for the season.
What's your max? I f***ed up on the first one. Axel Lundberg asks, what's your max distance throw and what mold do you use then?
I use the Orbit Grace for sure. I am not aware what's my max distance because I haven't really thrown max distance. I just throw controlled shots, but I would say like up to maybe, I don't know, 120 to 130 meters, I guess.
Cats or dogs?
I have a cat, so I love my cat. I do love dogs, and I love all kinds of animals. So I've been thinking about it, if I retire, I just adopt a bunch of animals and just live with them happily ever after.
How to throw far forehands?
There's no simple answer. It was supposed to be rapid answers. But I think, well, it's very important to get some spin on the disc. I feel like most of the men, in my experience, they try to like throw the disc with a lot of force from your arm and upper body, but they forget to put some spin on the disc. So if you put a lot of spin on the disc, I think you don't even have to use as much force.
Disc Golf Man 05, favorite course?
I truly love playing in Tampere. I think it really tests your skills, and it's a very fine course.
Benji92, let's settle this.
Okay.
Forehand or backhand off tee?
If I have to pick one, I guess forehand is more accurate. I lose distance with it, but I'm definitely far more accurate with my forehand.
How many aces do you have?
Oh, I'm not aware of the exact number, but I would say like around 30.
What are the 3 most used discs in your bag?
I would say Orbit Grace, Lucid Verdict, and Moonshine Harp.
What is the best mental tip you have?
You're just here to experience life, have fun, play this game that we call life, and know that you have the power to change your reality, the picture you see. So always turn the focus on you and ask yourself what you can do to change that picture you see. And there's always a way.